What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Appreciate Greatness. Today, we are going to be talking about Ivica Zubac and the great season he had last year, what made him so great, and just paying homage to him and the season he had. If you guys go on to enjoy this video, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helped the channel out. I do have two other videos like this if you enjoyed this video specifically. I did one on KP a year or two ago. And actually, probably most of the people watching this came from that KP video. So thank you to all who have stuck with me through that. And then my first one of these was a JDub video. Now I think I have this layout much better, much improved, and I like it a lot more. That being said, we're going to hop right into it. Again, please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy. And this channel all about basketball content, college basketball, NBA, mock drafts, whatever you want. Leave a comment, I'll do it. Let's get into it. In 2025, Ivica Zubac had the best season of his career. The 28-year-old made large jumps on every surface level statistical category and pretty much every advanced analytic you can find. This video is paying homage to Zoo and breaking down his season, showing what made him so good. Starting off with my favorite part of Zoo's game, even though it's not really close to his best, his passing. I believe that Zoo is an incredibly, criminally underrated and probably even slightly underused passer. He averaged just under 3 assists this season for the Clips, and this is a part of his game that's really still improving, which we'll get into near the end of the video. He has really good feel for cutters. He's really good feel for defenders who are helping out and where they are in help. And he's excelled in the Clippers' high cutting offense. And we're going to go through kind of the ways that Zoo passes. I also want to mention that a lot of his passes are generated by his own screening, and a lot of since passing coincides with assists, I want to talk about his screening. 3.2 or around 3.2 screen assists per game for Zoo this season, and that just really opens up his ability and his teammates' ability to score, pass, make plays easier. So big credit to Zoo for being one of the best, if not the best, screeners in all of NBA. The first thing we're looking at is his post passing, and he got so many opportunities in the post this year, and he really took advantage of it. And with that, he became a much better post passer. He was great at hitting backside cutters over the top of defenders or facing up and looking for any 45 cuts he could hit. He's really good at feeling the double and kicking out when the opponent fully extends their defense, which can lead to a wide open three or a wide open swing or a couple swings that lead to a wide open three. But the big thing for me that Zoo does well is he's just very patient, very methodical. And even though I think sometimes he's a little bit slow to make a read, the ball is always delivered on time, on target. The next thing Zoo does really well is passing out of the hub. He ran a lot of hub for the Clippers, and he initiated a ton of offense for them. And whether it was a DHO or initiating into the pick and roll, but through the hub, it was mostly that DHO, and he excelled in this. It allowed James Harden to get downhill. It allowed Norman Powell to come off his big screen, his big body screen, and pop a three. And now, obviously, Zoo doesn't have Norman Powell, who they were awesome DHO teammates, and they had a great connection. But now he has Bradley Beal. He has James Harden, Chris Paul, guys who can get him the ball after the DHO and get downhill. And I think that Bradley Beal and Zoo are going to be the new Norman Powell and Zoo, and Bradley Beal getting to the mid-range is going to be excellent off the DHO. But he does that very well, the handoffs into the screen and allowing guys to get open looks. And it might not look like an assist, but it's definitely a screen assist and an assist for Zoo. And the last way that Zoo really gets a lot of his passes off is a short roll passing, and watching him execute this is a thing of beauty. And this is where the Zoo Derrick Jones Jr. connection comes into play very heavily. It's pretty average in terms of speed and making decision. However, it feels like he makes the decision and delivers the ball right on time, on target every single time. And with a guy like Derrick Jones Jr. cutting and being able to jump as high as he can. Zoo doesn't have to make the perfect pass. He does most of the time, but he doesn't have to, and it allows for Derrick Jones Jr. and Zoo to be one of the most fun connections in the entire NBA. The next thing we're talking about is Zoo's scoring ability, and since we've opened up with two offensive topics in passing and scoring, I do want to talk about how good the Clips offense was with Zoo on the court. They had an offensive rating of 118 with Zoo on and 110 with Zoo off. So it fell 8 net ratings when Zoo wasn't in the game. Big reason for that is how consistent of a post player he was and how good inside he was. He shot 71.3% from the restricted area, and even when you could push him out, because he's so strong, he's hard to push out, but when you can push him out, or when he's in a short roll and you force him to catch early, he shot 53.6% from the non-restricted paint, and we'll talk about the way he got there. Zoo in the post relies on the hook shots to score, and he rarely really lowers his shoulders into defenders, but because of how strong he is, he doesn't really need to lower his shoulder. He kind of can make just enough space to get off the hook shot that he loves, and with the hook shot, he doesn't need much space either. And so he gets away with these small bumps and just finds it a way to be comfortable, finds enough space to be comfortable going up. And he's just such a methodical post player, like I mentioned earlier, especially when he's looking to score. The other main income for Zoo is in the pick and roll. He has a couple great go-tos when it comes to scoring in the pick and roll. He catches pretty much every ball and gives himself a chance to make a play every time a pick and roll is ran and he gets a pass. And any big who plays with Harden is an immediate automatic lob threat, right? And that feels like an area that Zoo has really, really improved himself as a solid lob threat. But what I love the most about Zoo is the short roll. He's not only an awesome passer, but when it comes to the push shot or the floater, it's just almost automatic. And if he doesn't get to the push shot or if he doesn't get to the floater, he can put the ball on the ground. And when there's a rotating defender, he can put it right over the top, or he can spin off and finish inside with ease. The last way Zoo gets most of his touches is off dump offs. And like I said earlier, he's great. He's got great hands, and he's great at making himself available when his teammates are driving. And this comes back to the elite push shot, the great hook shots in the floater that gives him options from the short corner or the block, where when he gets the ball off of a Harden drive or a Norman Powell drive, getting the ball to him quick, tight spaces, that ball gets on you quick. He catches it, and he's great at getting his hook shot, getting his push shot, getting his floater up there, and it allows him to have these extra scoring options from inside. Moving on to Zoo defensively, this was his best area of achievement this year. He submitted himself as a top 5 defensive center in the NBA, in my opinion. And in today's NBA, that is saying quite a lot. Seeing as how defenses are anchored by the center. And the Clips had a defensive rating of 108.7 with him on the court and 114.5 with him off. So another wide margin of Zoo just being really good and making a massive impact on this Clippers team. The main way Zoo impacts the defensive side of the ball is his rim protection. He's awesome at getting in position and being ready for a drive, because when he does, he is so big and he does such a good job at staying vertical that it makes finishes over him or around him that much harder. He's not a great shot blocker by any means. He gets you about a little over 1 a game, but that's not always a great way to judge rim protection, and that's a whole different conversation that we can get into. But Zoo is just a perfect example of that. He's just able to be in the way and read drives so well and be in help and stay vertical and force guys to make tough layups, floaters, or anyone who wants to feel frisky, any opponent who's feeling a little frisky tries to dunk over the top of him, and it's not happening. He does a great job of just staying in position, and he blocks shots when he needs to, but just stays vertical and defends the rim like that. Another way Zoo makes a big-time defensive impact is in drop coverage. He's one of, if not the best drop coverage players in the NBA, and that's because he takes up a lot of space, is a pretty fleet-footed fella for how large of a guy he is. Zoo contested 7.8 6.7 twos per game, which was 4th in the entire NBA. And he also averaged a total of 10 contested shots per game, which is also 4th in the NBA. That means he contested about 2.3 threes per game, which is really great. And he's proven time and time again that he not only defends the rim, but he can defend the mid-range, he can defend the three-point line, and get out to shooters when in drop coverage. Zoo showed that he can be a top 5 center in this league for quite a while last year, and he still has room to improve. What's most shocking about Zoo to me is just how consistent he is and how he makes the Clippers so much better when he's on the court. The Clips had a net rating of 9.4 with Zoo on the court and a negative 4.5 with Zoo off. And it just goes to show how much of an impact Zoo truly made on this team because of how consistent of a scorer he was, how consistent of a defender he was. If they needed something, if they needed a 2, an easy 2, they could just dump it down to Zoo. And there's a 71.3, I believe, % chance he gets it for you. Now, how can Zoo improve? I think he gets a little sped up at times, especially offensively, and it does make those passes a little harder for him. He still makes them on time, on target, like I said earlier, but I think things just move a little fast for him at times, and that's something that I think will come with more age and more reps in this offense that the Clips are running. He hasn't had this type of role or this type of usage ever in his career until last year, and now he's going to have just generational passing, another lob threat, and John Collins around him, where if they run more pick and roll and he runs more short roll stuff, he's got John Collins and Derrick Jones Jr. now, right? So I think just being able to make passes within the flow of the game a little quicker is the biggest thing that Zoo can improve on. But other than that, he was an unbelievable center last year. He's been great throughout his whole career, and I'm expecting a big year from him next year. I hope y'all went on to enjoy this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I hope the audio sounds good. I tried to record this 2 other times. It went bad, but hopefully it's good this time. Please subscribe, like, share this video if you really enjoyed it. Please help me out a little bit as a small content creator. But I really do appreciate all of y'all who watched and love y'all. But yeah, again, this is one of probably 5 more of these that I'm going to post. So this is me getting into my rhythm a little bit. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. But I do hope y'all enjoyed. Please leave a like, subscribe, do all y'all thing. Peace.